cracking this examination the very first attempt itself. So let me make a few pieces of advice to you for this examination. The first is, the first advice is that better than all of us, better than this institute you have joined, and this would sound surprising, that standing on an institute's platform, one of the most renowned institutes of India, I make an observation right in the very first class, that better than all of us is the set of your syllabus copy and the previous year's question papers. Remember, this is the litmus test you have for this examination. Don't waste your time with the seniors, with the friends, or even with the teachers. I'll tell you that knowing what is to be done for this examination. You will be your own judge, the best judge, if you know the syllabus copy and if you know thoroughly the previous year's question papers. So my advice is, have two hard copies of both the things, one on your table always, the other in your bag, that whenever you have some time, just keep going through the content of these two sources. Get as much familiar as you can, because if you know what comes in the examination, what ways it comes there in the examination, then only you will know which article of the newspaper I need to discard and which I need to read, and to what depth do I need to read. Do I need to keep a note of it, or do I just need the first reading and leave it? All these things would be best understood if you know what you are having the pursuit for. Nothing would be better than this. Remember, all teachers are biased. You are also biased, and all institutes would be having some bias. But what is not biased is this set. If you are able to face the litmus test of the previous year's question papers, then no one can stop you for success in this year's examination, because the level is almost the same. So I hope the message is gone, that before you start reading your book, please read these copies also and keep reading them. Get to clearly know that what do they ask on paper on ethics, what do they ask in the paper on essay, science and technology, economics. And then you will find your every minute spent in the books or the newspaper reading would be of more effective nature. Otherwise, you will be wasting a lot of your time in this examination. Remember, in next 1.5 years, the greatest resource you have is your time. And there's a saying, the way we spend our time, that is what defines who we are. Use time as a tool, not as a couch to rest upon. Okay? 1.5 years hard work will change your life, will change lives of many beloved ones around you in the family. And if you are having a social mission, through these services selection, you can change lives of thousands and millions in this country. That is the pedestal, the platform these services provide. And this is just in 1.5 years hard work. In no other field in our society, you can achieve such wonders in just 1.5 years. Sports people spend 10 years in training, then they may get selection in the national team, may get. And if there is an injury, they are out for the rest of the life. If they are successful, if they are lucky enough, they spend some 10 years of fame, and after that, no one asks them in the rest of the life. But civil services, 1.5 years of job, and rest. Don't read newspaper ever in life, even then they can't push you out. No. So when you read newspaper these days, read it so thoroughly, telling yourself that I'll never read it again in life. Because I know you'll read it. But I'm saying on the lighter side, that 1.5 years hard work, rest of the things are taken care of. Okay. So first advice is this, that keep these two sources handy with you. Don't make it a university examination where you purchase the old year's papers just before the semester exam. Tell me, be honest. I know, even I was a student in India, no? So I know what we have been doing in school and colleges. So those engineering students of my class who went to purchase the old question papers just before this semester holidays were announced, please remember, this would be a very, very big mistake in this examination, because this is the best guide you have. Okay. Now we come to second. The second advice I share with you is UPSC has compartmentalized this examination in 3 stages: prelims, mains, and interview. And it has done this compartmentalization for its own administrative reasons. But my advice to you is, for your preparation, please never ever compartmentalize your preparation, because if you compartmentalize your preparation for this examination, I have seen best of the students from best of the institutes of India taking 3 attempts to get their name in the final list. Many of you would happen to, if you don't understand my point today, many of you, after a few months of involvement in this examination preparation, you'll be only oriented for prelims this year. Naturally, it would happen because of the pressure of this examination syllabus. And mains would be next time. And the 3 stages will come together in the 3rd attempt. If you are a sincere candidate, it will take 3 years sometimes. And this has been given as a feedback to me by the best of those institute students. That is, they were the toppers from the different institutes of India, but they admit later that, sir, I could have done it in the very first attempt. Perhaps I made a mistake. And mistake was this. So right from the day one, please go for an integrated approach. Remember, getting successful in prelims without having preparation for mains is of no use. Means you will be wasting your all efforts by getting success in prelims if you're not prepared for the mains of that year. So when you write prelims this year, tell yourself, I'm writing for the reason that I wish to appear in the main this year's examination, and I appear in the mains only for the reason I want interview call this year. So and remember, you have joined the course well on time. You have good time for all the 3 stages. So in these days only, get to know what do they need in me for interview. What OLQs are looking, they are looking for, the officer-like qualities, and how best I can develop in every day's, like say, preparation time. For example, you have hobbies as one of the very important component in your finally the interview stage. Many questions, the interview starts only from the hobbies section. And I've seen many good students from the best institutes of India, they coming to us in the 3rd year of their stay in Delhi before the interview, that, sir, hobbies. And they come with the question mark, hobbies, just they speak hobbies with a question mark on the face. And I interestingly ask them, are you asking my hobbies or are you asking the hobbies for your own form? Though I know inside what they are asking for, but I joke them with this way, because how can I tell your hobbies? Hobby is something which interests you. So what is now, what exactly is the job you need to do? Now is the time, discover in you, you certainly would be having 1 or the 2 hobbies. Discover, if they are not explicit even today, discover what exactly is of interest to you when you are free. So select some good hobbies out of the ones which you think you have. And then you can come to a teacher and ask, sir, which one should I fill in my form? Don't decide these things at the end, like when you are just a few days before the interview. So decide the hobbies now, decide other side things for the interview, and get prepared accordingly. Collect more information on those hobbies and other side things. So remember, prelims will go waste if you are not prepared for the mains of the same year. And remember, if you have covered a large portion of mains along with the prelims preparation, you have higher chances to crack prelims in that year examination, because you don't have a clear boundary. And remember, out of the 3 stages, prelims is the most uncertain stage of this examination. So how can you have this risk that your prelims success goes waste? And remember, next year prelims you will succeed or not, that is not guaranteed. You certainly would have come across many cases where people clear their prelims in the first attempt, but second attempt, they have not passed the prelims. So please prepare for the whole examination in an integrated fashion. And in just one attempt, you will make it to a good rank in the examination list. This is what I believe. Coming to the third point.